Okay, we'll call the meeting to order for the Starke County Alcoholic Beverage Board on this 4th day of November 2025 at 1:00 p.m. Central Time. Members of the board present today are myself, Michelle Trauber, State Excise Police.
Kenneth Peverell. Joe Pusell.
All right, anyone here today seeking a new permit, a transfer of ownership, or transfer of location should have none. Or those seeking a renewal after a violation, please stand and raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do each of you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury the answers you have given on your applications and any questions asked by the board today to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. You can be seated. All right, first on the agenda, we have RC 7500142, American Legion, Harry L. Keller Post number 92, Incorporated, doing business as American Legion number 92. All right, can you state your name, please?
Matthew Fox,
And what is your title there at the club?
post commander.
Okay. And this is a violation back in March of this year for retail to retail purchasing.
Yes.
Paid a $750 fine.
Yes.
So I guess tell the board why we should renew the American Legion and what happened.
Okay. So I don't know if you know the gentleman, but Mr. Peverell probably does. Jesse Scutchfield. You know, Jesse Scutchfield played with.
I know vaguely of
He
him.
played with Junior and the Igniters. Well, he passed away of cancer. It'll be 2 years. It'll be 2 years this coming up May. My wife, they had a big benefit for him, and one of the prizes brought in was a wheelbarrow of liquor. And my wife and one of the bartenders bought tickets on it and they won it. Well, we got married in August. The other bartender just wanted the wheelbarrow. My wife got all the liquor. Of course, we took the good stuff for our wedding and we just left the old stuff, the stuff a billy goat wouldn't drink, back in the back room on the floor. And we used it to do tip boards. We used it for donations to other people that come in and ask for donations, other posts, bike riders, whatever, they come in. Hey, we're doing a bike run for this. Can you give a donation? And we'll give them a couple bottles. And we would tip board them off to make extra money. We would actually go buy beer and put it in 6-packs and tip board it off with broths and beer, pork chops and beer, whatever. I did not know that we had to have a separate shelf marked donation, is what the officers said when they told us. The initial call on us, I believe, was for serving minors. That is absolutely not true. Never served minors. We know all our clientele, and that was just absolutely not true. They confiscated all our liquor. I didn't even know if I could get it back, but they took like 30 bottles. Stuff like, I don't know. I can't even remember. I don't even know the names.
Basically, it would have been stuff you didn't have receipts for.
It's stuff, yeah, it's
That they
stuff that
took.
we don't
sell.
that we don't sell at the bar, at the club. And it was on the floor. It just wasn't on a shelf marked donation. And that's why they took all of it.
It would have had to been more than just on a shelf marked for donation, because
That's what
if
the
it didn't
officers
come
did
from the
tell us.
wholesaler, then
Yeah.
it can't be in the club at all.
Oh, see, they didn't tell us that. They
Yeah.
actually told us, if it would have been on a shelf marked donation, we could do what we were doing with it, selling it for tip boards.
Well, you gotta show where it came from, how you
Okay.
got it. If you didn't get it through a wholesaler, you can't have it there on the premise.
See, we
So
didn't.
people
know that.
can donate things
Just
to
have
tip
some
boards.
wrote out.
There's specific rules and guidelines, so get the law book, Google search it online, whatever, to look at the charitable gaming auction raffle
'Cause I mean,
statutes
every
and make
club
sure you're complying with those.
every club I've ever been in, when they have I mean, they're, you know, they're tip boarding off bottles and this, and I'm like, well, okay, well, I guess we can do it too.
You were doing this, but you hadn't looked into the
Right.
rules and
I haven't looked
regulations.
into the rules and regulations.
Yeah, so it's not just
And
about
that's
putting,
my fault, it's my shortcoming.
but make sure you understand what I'm telling you. It's not just about putting the wheelbarrow stuff on a shelf and marking it for donation.
Right.
You need to look to how to donate those things to raffles and charitable gaming options. And then it's only stuff that you order from the wholesaler.
Right.
Like if you don't have a receipt for it, it can't be at the club. So
Yeah, we haven't,
So it
So,
would,
you've
yeah,
got kind of
we
two
haven't-
different things going on
We
there
haven't
that you
done-
need to
yeah,
address.
We just quit it all together. You know, people say, well, when are you gonna, you know, do tip boards? And I'm like, I'm not, you know, that, because one, that was my shortcoming. I sold my Durango for $1,000 and I paid that fine out of my pocket. You know, that was my shortcoming.
well, with the
So
reg,
that was my donation to the American Legion, $750. I paid the fine.
so you have the right to do it as long as it's within the regulations of getting it through the wholesaler and earmarking it.
So we can't go and buy a case of beer
From the liquor store
from
or
liquor store
anywhere
or
else.
anywhere and divide it into 6 packs and
you
get
have to
boarded
buy it
up
from the
with,
distributor.
it has to come from our distributor. Okay.
Mhm.
And it would be wise if you're gonna go back to that, is to keep when you order the stuff to stock the establishment, you place a separate order for gaming and such. It'll all be separate receipts, and then everything's gotta line up. You can't go get a case of beer from here and put it with that. You get, hey,
Oh, no, not to sell, but to just tip board off. That
We don't
still
have-
has to come from
the wholesale.
the wholesaler, the distributor, Calumet or.
Someone
Indian
can't come
Beverage.
in and say, hey, I'm gonna donate, somebody gave me this, I'm gonna donate it, tip board it off.
And we did have that wedding
Yeah.
that
Yes.
donated and we had it in a separate, but he come and got it all.
Because we DJ weddings out at Danny Hopper's place, and a lot of times when there's full bottles of liquor, Danny would say, hey, they had this left over, they just left it here, do you want to, you know,
Tip it off.
tip board it off?
Tip board it, raffle it, whatever.
And I was like, well, yeah, I tip board it off, but I didn't know,
Look
I
at the
didn't know then what I
charitable,
do know now.
but what I'm telling you is look at the charitable gaming and charitable raffle on who you can even receive prizes from or who you can give them to. Like there's specific rules saying, you know, and it has to do with some of it's nonprofit organizations, which the American Legion would fall under that category, but you have to look at those rules. So, yeah, because if you were having something at the club and somebody said, oh, you're looking for raffle donations, and somebody says, I'll donate this gift basket that contains this alcohol. I'm not saying it can't have that, but there's the specific rules on who can donate what, how much, et cetera, et cetera.
But like
So
anything with.
you need to look at those. I don't really care about you.
That doesn't
You can
fall in our jurisdiction.
Ribs if you want. I don't
We have
care.
a lot of stuff that we
Yeah.
do that doesn't have alcohol, but it just seems like, you know, in the summer, in the spring and summer, It's easy, a lot of people like that.
I got a question. I know I was saying my part, but just so I understand too, and we're gonna read that as well, but what is why did they make that law that if somebody were to donate to something like an American Legion, if I came and say, hey, look, I got these, I want to donate this to you guys, and they can't board it off to make money for the American Legion? Why? You know what I mean? Can you explain why the?
That was not a donation. That wheelbarrow was not a donation to the club. That was, nobody wants this, so we're gonna give it to the club.
Oh, I got
That was not a
No, we
donation.
want it on.
Yeah, I want it. I just.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. You should have taken it home. You don't,
I'm not.
but you don't get to say, I don't want it. I'm just gonna give it to the club. There's rules that you have to follow on how you are gonna donate that back or whatever.
Look up the website, find the rules, print them off, make a hard copy and
The wording is all, it will be all there and clarified.
Yes, and paperwork.
Right, I know there's always.
Yeah, I know about the
Yeah.
paperwork. Believe me, at the end of the year, I know about the charity
Yeah.
gave me paperwork.
Yeah.
But that's true.
Yep.
I'll do all that.
Yeah.
I'll print it out.
The club has had no prior violations, correct?
Nope.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
And
it.
how long's the club been there anyway?
And since,
48.
in that particular location,
49.
since 1949.
Okay,
Since
no
1949.
violations, so very good.
It was actually in the middle of
That's why I
town
said it's
at
kind of
one
my, I
time.
didn't take it, but I didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know. You know, it just, one of those things and.
I'll make a
I would have
motion,
I would have gave it all away if I'd have known that.
I'll make a motion for until they get the rule book and read the rules. I'll make a motion for a 1-year renewal.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. As long as you don't have any violations from now until next time you read it, you don't have to
We have
come.
not been tipped for nothing off.
You don't have
Oh,
to
I
come.
take that back. I should have brought some tickets for you guys. Half a hog, we're done, half a hog.
And again, just make sure you always check with your gaming
Right.
rules and regulations too.
I know when the guy was there the last time, I think I asked him so many questions. He was trying to get out. He was like, walking to the door, and I'm like,
She's like, hello. That's my bar manager.
There's only about 8 rules, so read them, look at them, and like, yeah, you can what if all day, but just look at the 8 rules.
Right.
Does it fit into there? Where does it apply?
Self-explanatory.
Yeah. So, all right. Hopefully, we won't see you next year.
oh, you won't see us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Mr. Peverell, thank you. Michelle, thank you.
Hey, we're
Oh.
married now.
Oh, no, I got a question. I do
Yeah.
have a question. So our extension, every year we have to get an extension.
File your renewal earlier.
Well, we
Then
do.
you won't have
Every
to.
time we send it in, they send it back and say,
Well, they always tell us.
this
that
paperwork has changed. It's been like that ever since COVID. Every year.
It's July
some-
1st. Ours is due August 6th, but they get to send in 3 months prior.
Mhm.
So in between there, rules change. So we always get kind of,
Oh, caught.
Yes, and we always had to pay that $250 extension, which we did this year.
Okay.
And it runs out November 6th. Do I have to get another extension? Or can you lift the red flag?
No, you'll have to get, this won't even go to the commission hearing until, let me look at the calendar, till the second, today's the first Tuesday of the month. It won't go until the 3rd Tuesday of the month.
So I'm gonna go to Indianapolis tomorrow and maybe file for another
Yeah,
$250.
like I said, this won't even go to commission hearing until the 3rd Tuesday.
Now, will Indianapolis know that I've been here? And
By tomorrow, I mean, maybe if they look tomorrow, but
I go tomorrow. Might have to go Thursday
Yeah.
morning.
yeah,
We don't open till 3.
Yep.
All
sorry.
right, no, that's okay. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, this will be
I
on.
didn't wanna be open and not be able to, you know.
Yeah, November 18th is the next commission hearing.
yeah.
Okay. So I can go up to Indianapolis and explain to them, and hopefully they'll extend me a couple more, another month or so.
Mhm.
Cool.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys have a good day. Yeah. All right.
Okay, next we have RR 75400183 Judson's Route 10 Bar and Grill. DBA Route 10 Bar and Grill. All right, can you state your names, please?
Shannon Manella.
Anthony Manella.
All right, and you are the owners?
Yes.
Okay, so this was a violation that happened back in February of this year. It was an alcohol compliance check. You paid $1,000 fine. So tell us about what happened there.
So we, actually, neither one of us were at the bar when it happened, but we had a young girl that just moved from West Virginia. I don't know if the rules are different there than here. She just assumed that the young lady sitting at the bar next to the elder lady or the elder guy was 21 and she did not card him.
Okay.
I don't know if she served him. Did she serve him?
Well, she served him 2 beers.
Nope.
The guy or?
I just stop you right there. I'm not reading the case report, but she would have served the underage person. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had a violation.
Well, she told me that she gave the beers to the gentleman.
Yeah, she's gonna say that.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course you get that.
Of course you're gonna say that. That's not what happened.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, when we do these alcohol compliance checks, the officer, who's the older guy or older girl, will escort the 18, 19, 20-year-old into the establishment. The youth orders their own drink. The officer does not order it for them. The youth pays for the drinks. So she would have paid for the officer's drink also. There is no, it's not, like I said, we're like, okay, you order your drink, I order my drink. Half the time I order water because, I have to pay for this. So, I don't want to pay for it. Then that person, the underage person, has the money. So they're the ones paying it. So she could say whatever, yeah, but the bottom line is she might have set both the drinks right here, or whatever. But clearly that underage person would have ordered it. So, if she would ask that minor, are you 21? The minor's going to say no. Because they have to. That's why the officer is there. If she says, what's your birth date? They're going to tell her the correct, real, true birth date. If they say, are you old enough to be in here? No. Whatever the story is, whatever the questions are, they have to answer truthfully. So if she would have just said, how old are you?
Yeah.
The person would have said, I'm 18.
Which I mean,
Yeah.
since then now all of our bartenders we made them get their serve safe.
The alcohol serve safe, all
alcohol
of them
serve safe.
retain it.
Because obviously, shouldn't happen, but it
Yeah.
did.
What is your carding policy prior to this incident?
Card everyone that looks.
Okay.
So
No, we do get a lot of like the same people that come in, and so obviously our regulars that are, 35, we don't card them because
Right.
they come in all the time. We've checked their
I
IDs
know they're
plenty of times.
Yeah.
But I think she was still new and I have seen her card people before, so I don't, maybe she was busy and she just assumed.
And a lot of times what we find too, the older the officers get and the younger the kids get, or the kids, keep staying the same age, it often is interpreted, I thought you were his mom. I thought you were her dad, whatever. So even that being the case, they still can't consume. So,
Yeah,
how long have you guys owned the bar now?
it'll be 3 years in March.
Okay, and this is your first violation, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So just make sure too that you keep up on the training, because the employees should take the training every 3 years. So, if they all just did it,
That's nice, but most employees don't last 3 years.
I know,
Last about 3 months.
I know, right? Unfortunately, that's what you hear. So it's a perpetual training and,
If they take it once, then we win because they're not gonna be there in 3 years.
But we have a couple that have been there
No,
all the time, but
But the
yeah,
majority of
they
them.
do,
it's like-
they do move on quickly.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and you learned $1,000 a lot of money.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
they're not paying.
Right, right. I think their fines are usually between $100 and $200, I guess, so.
Yeah.
Now granted, they gotta work a lot of hours to make that money usually, but still.
She disappeared after that. She didn't.
Yeah, she completely vanished.
She walked out on a Sunday, I think, right?
Yeah,
And
it's the next day. We
and then
walked out and then like
left and never, no one could even get a
We
hold of
couldn't
her.
call
ever
her.
again. We went to her house, we had
people
like
drove past her house, like.
knock on her door, knock's gone.
Go back to West Virginia, maybe?
That's what we think. We have no idea.
I tried reaching out with all the other servers, like, it was the craziest thing.
How old was
We told her
she?
we're not making, we're gonna pay our fine. Like, we didn't say, hey, you're paying this
Yeah,
money.
no.
Because, I think the previous owners had a violation and they made the girl, if she wanted to stay working there, they made her pay the money to them.
Mm,
Yeah, which would, to each your own. We're not gonna do that because it's partly our fault because, if they're not.
But she still would have gotten a fine either way, like we paid her, she
Mhm.
paid her, so I'm like, I hope she didn't like vanish thinking she wasn't gonna get a fine now, but yeah, she literally like up and vanished.
Yeah, no, we
Hmm.
can't.
It was so
pretty crazy.
weird.
And
Yeah,
that's
that's
literally in the middle of a shift, as there's people, the place, she's the bartender, I
Right.
just walked out. It's like, oh, this is extra, thank you.
Well,
You can't make this up.
yeah, right. Yeah, real life is always crazier than the movies.
as we stated, download the rules, make hard copies, give everybody, hey, these are the rules,
Yeah.
you know.
That's a
Yes.
hard one. Like everybody knows, don't sell to minors, don't sell to drunks. Like everybody knows that. And if you have your rule of card everybody appears under 40 and you just can't be there all the time. And if you are, then you don't need employees,
Right.
so
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I
get
don't
it.
know, what do you do at this point? And then the only thing I would say is like, if we would have had them do that alcohol, now every server, she has them all, they have to take it, she gives them a deadline and then they
It's
get.
just good for them to
But-
have too.
When they read that, but then you do notice the difference because when they go to, when you watch them serve, it never, if they, like from them watching that video and taking that little test,
Normal.
they do what they're supposed to do every time, whereas, I'm sure they probably weren't doing that before,
Mhm.
whatever, and it talks about pouring, right?
Yeah, talk about
Everything,
everything.
so it makes a difference, they need to do it.
Yeah.
Like, and like I tell them, we have meetings. It's beneficial for you anyways, because if you leave here and you go to become a bartender somewhere else, it's gonna look good if you have this certification that says you did that training, so like, you're bettering yourself, so no one's really fought it, but now they don't have choice to do it, otherwise they're not gonna be a bartender for us.
It's their own, you've been in business, what, 3 years?
Mhm.
Not quite 3 years.
Yeah, well, we've owned it, this place has been here a long time.
Yeah, I know.
We've only owned it for about 3 years now.
I make a motion that, we extend it for 1 year.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, a motion and a second for a 1-year renewal. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so as you know, you file your renewals every year. Basically, the local board agenda is an every other year thing. Now, Stark County, obviously, we could hear every permit probably every year, but other counties that are big, their agendas, their meetings would be 4 hours long. So it's kind of an odd even year. And so 1 year when you file your renewal, you get it back within a month. And then next year when you file it, it gets scheduled for this local board agenda and it takes longer. That's why they want the 3-year lead or 3-month lead time. So we're just saying, put it back on our agenda next year, but as long as you don't have violation, you don't have to come.
Oh,
So,
no, we don't have to do anything else. We already sent our stuff back in.
yep, you don't have to do anything else. This will go to commission on November 18th.
Okay.
And then it'll be active just a day or two after that, so.
And back to what I was asking before, real quick.
Mhm.
If you have, I know you only alcohol out in the premise is from the distributor, like you said. What, is that just because so that distributors, because they made deals or something or like, how come you can't go?
That's
There's gotta be a
it's the,
bar.
it is, it's the integrity of the 3-tier system. So
Sorry, I know
No.
you're digging out some knowledge.
It
here.
is. It's here's where, okay, let me tell you what it says and why back in 1992, when I came on the department, this made a lot more sense. Everything, by the manufacturer had to go from the manufacturer, brewery, distillery, winery, to the distributors. It then had to go to the retailers or dealers, the stores and the restaurants. You had to follow that 3-tier system, and it kept like the playing field fair and level. And that's why they had to do it. But now, as you know, you can go to the winery directly as a retailer or the brewery or the distillery. It's kind of like, now we got this many more laws regarding that. So they do allow some of that 3-tier system to jump around. The manufacturers can sell directly. Like, for instance, a winery, they can choose to self-distribute. So they can be the manufacturer of the wine and the wholesaler of the wine, but they can't do both. They can't self-distribute it to the restaurants and sell it to the wholesaler. They got to pick one or the other. Do you want to be your own wholesaler, or do you want to go through a wholesaler? So there's a lot of laws now regarding that, and same thing with the distillers and the breweries. Breweries can self-distribute, but so
We've gone
yeah.
to like
Well, we do.
Walmart and see like the beer at Walmart is
Mhm.
way cheaper than when we get it on the truck.
Okay.
We never bought it because we know we can't do that, but I was just wondering, like, it's just because it's just set up that way, that's how laws are wrote, and that no matter what, distributor, retailer to, or I'm sorry,
Distributor to wholesaler
to wholesale,
to
to
retailer.
retail, yeah.
Yeah. And the thing with the Walmarts, for instance, is they can buy so much more at a time from the wholesaler, which is why they get a better price. Now, one thing you guys can do is you can join a co-op. Have you heard about those? Or the group purchasing agreement? Yeah, a lot of liquor stores do it. So you can so say for instance, you wanted to join with the American Legion or something. I don't know if that would work because they're nonprofit. I'm not positive, but just for an example, if you guys wanted to get together and said, hey, let's fill out all this paperwork for a group purchasing agreement. And it basically says we are all our own business, but we want to purchase together so we can get better prices. Then everything, the state is real sticky on the paperwork now. It's got to be, they used to, people would send it in and I don't know, it just didn't get looked over real good. But now it's like they want to make sure everything is, correct on it. But then you will place an order. We want this. And the Legion would place an order. We want this. And then there'd be a master invoice saying this is everything. And so what happens is the distributor would only deliver it to one place. And then you have to go pick it up. And you can only pick up what's on your invoice. So there's a master invoice and then 2 sub invoices for everybody.
Even still, that's that way? Like, so like these liquor stores that are in these, like I have a buddy that owns a bottle shop in LaPorte. He's a part of a big co-op. So like they don't deliver, because so when he buys all his stuff, he has to like go get it, or maybe he's the hub. Oh my goodness, that would be crazy. I mean, you're talking.
Cause you got.
Can't imagine the amount of cases that we go
Yeah,
through.
but that's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, now that you're driving that stuff, could you imagine like you're driving, you go pick up like all your stuff and drive it all the way? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. It ain't just a couple bucks though.
Right.
For us, because we
I know.
buy so much.
Yeah.
But you could look into it. It's called a group purchasing agreement. So you can look and review the paperwork and see,
Get there is 3 bars in North Judson.
right?
Oh my God, a lot of power.
Yeah, but
The Busch Light guys, I mean, those guys buy a lot of Busch Light.
yeah, and obviously it's easy for like the mega liquor stores or the, handy spot liquor stores that have several stores.
Yeah.
They usually have one giant store, right? That they can get the whole delivery brought in and
Everybody
then,
comes and gets their.
yeah, and then they just, ship it out to the other stores, so.
Wow, that's interesting.
Now we can order, so Indiana Whiskey came and we have a couple bottles that we had bought from them, but we bought it directly from them, even though they're not like our normal 3 distributors. Is that
this still distributor.
They're still a distributor.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Indiana whiskey, I think they probably opt to distribute their own stuff. I don't really know, like everybody's different. Like I said, the wineries, I know they can pick one or the other. They can't do both, but they can pick one or the other. I don't know who self-distributes and who doesn't. But yeah,
I mean, we have all of our receipts. We only buy like 2 bottles every few months, but
Yeah.
we still have our receipts, but I want to make sure, because they're not Calumet or Indiana Beverage or.
Well, you need to
Yeah.
keep those receipts because if they want to look over invoices,
Right,
So,
yeah.
You
But I
gotta-
keep every receipt.
but trust me, Indiana whiskey would get in more trouble selling to you and delivering to you than you would get. So they're not gonna do what they
No, I'm
can't
sure they
do.
don't. I mean, with a name like that, Indiana whiskey, you gotta be legit.
Yeah.
Please leave it all.
Yeah,
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 turns out they're not. All right, we're sorry.
yep, yep.
All right, well, good. Thank you. I'm glad this was, not the
Yeah.
end of our life and,
No.
we gotta put that thing for sale. So if anybody wanting to buy a North Justin Route 10 Bar and Grill, it is for sale.
If the price is right, huh?
Yeah.
again,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we gotta go.
Really? Just,
It does
I
fine.
mean,
It
we're
just
not
takes.
gonna like close it. We're gonna wait until we get somebody to buy it, but we also own another company and we're growing and it's hard. I'm splitting time there, time in the restaurant,
It's,
our 3 kids.
the restaurant doesn't make enough money. I mean, it makes money, but it doesn't make enough money to justify her spending her time down there. So whereas she could do a lot more for us on, the mechanical side, so
yeah,
it's like, I need you to kind of we gotta get.
you run a heating and cooling.
Yeah, heating and air conditioning refrigeration company.
okay.
Yeah, we're gonna put all new lights hopefully in 5-star. Dude, yeah, wait till you guys go into the 5-star here in Knox, you'll be like, oh wow, that guy was legit.
I can actually see what I'm looking
I
at
know,
now.
you can't even see in the doors right now. I told them. They got so many light bulbs, if you look up in their store, that are like just barely lit, but they're paying. I'm like, you're paying for that one. You're paying for all of them that are out.
Putting LEDs in to brighten it
Yeah,
up a
all
little
new
bit.
LEDs.
Probably cut their bill in half.
Oh, yeah.
Is it the lights or the ballasts? Cause that place just turned 50 years, everybody's
50 years
going,
old.
well, how long they been there? I said, well, they've been there since 75.
Mhm.
How do you know that?
Yep.
We were there when they opened. I was just a little kid. I was 10. Yeah, it was a big thing
There were 7 of those stores, and it used to be across the street originally.
in
And then-
Smith's.
Yep, and then in 1975, they came in the strip mall. And then Randy the guy who owns the whole strip mall. And then he sold like part of that off to Walgreens right there. So Walgreens built their store, but he owned all that land right there, still does. I don't know if he does it anymore or not, but anyway. But yeah, there were 7 of those stores at one time, 5-stars. And there's a couple people and then they put all that old pictures up on there in the store, but
Hmm.
it's actually, the meat market was like legit. Oh, who's coming in?
You got a key.
But yeah, it was a pretty legit, meat market back in the day. I mean, it needs a lot of work,
That's
but,
okay.
but yeah, they're actually we'll see. I'm hoping, we're getting ready to put the proposal, finish the proposal, but the NIPSCO rebate might actually cover the entire job. So what'll happen is they might have to like finance the upfront,
Mhm.
and then once the work's done, the rebate check comes in, they'll just pay it off, and then, and then they have all brand new lights for literally, they didn't,
Cheaper bill.
no money, and they're gonna save a lot of money per.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
when they originally opened that store, and it was a big promotional thing because they said wider aisles and this and that. Since then, they'd added 2 more rows. They actually took a Volkswagen before it opened and drove it through the store, up and down every aisle
That's cool.
and out.
I can't wait to talk. I'm gonna ask Rick about that, the manager.
That was what they, it was one of them things that was like, there ain't no way.
That's so cool. That's funny.
Did they really, I was just a little kid, when we hear the rumors, did they really do that?
I'll find out, cause I know the guy who was there in 1975 when it opened. He's still there, Rick, their manager there.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Rick Rad?
Yeah. Yeah, he's literally, he's been there 49 years or whatever, so he was there like the year, or maybe 1 year after it opened, and he became store manager there. He's been there ever since.
Yeah,
Oh.
the last
That's
employee that had any was the butcher that retired here a few years ago. Yeah, he was in the old store.
He So, yeah, they got some longevity there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we need a lot of work done. They were de-icing this island case. They got that bunker case where you get like the frozen pizzas and stuff right there at the end of the dairy. Every week, Rich, I don't know, he's like a manager there too, the grocery manager, I guess. But Rich would have to pull that case and every week you'd have to de-ice it because it was all iced up for like 5 years. I went there in like 3 days, I fixed it, and then he hasn't had to de-ice it since and ever since then, we're like, oh my gosh, what did you do? Because every week we'd be out here with a water hose, melting all this ice out of this thing. How did you get that to do that? I go, well, it wasn't never defrosted, and I worked for the company that took care of them for years, Midwest Refrigeration, but they just send, they're a big company, and then guys they just send anybody, and some guys, a lot of guys that never even been to the store, and they're trying to work on the stuff, they don't know stuff or whatever, so they got pushed away because they're just an independent store, So, but now that we own our own company, and it's been like 5 years, but I started taking care of them just recently, but he's like, oh man, I wish we would have found you years ago, and I'm like, I wish you would have too. I have to pay their bill, but.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
good, but yeah, it's just funny, but hopefully you get to see some nice new lights there in 5-star.
Yeah, and if we hear of anyone wanting to buy Route 10, we'll send them your
You guys
way.
actually get to see some people. I mean, not under the best circumstances all the time, but
Yeah.
maybe they got a lot of money and tell them, hey, send them my way.
Right? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I will make a motion to approve the October minutes if everybody had a chance to review those.
I will second that motion.
All those in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, any other business?
Not to our knowledge.
Meeting is adjourned.